Hi,
guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Al's eating salmon and like lettuce.
Are you freaking kidding me? I
He's
sent
coming.
him like 7 reminders to
know.
be here on time today. Let's take this off.
Okay.
Your dress is too pretty to have that on.
Happy V-Day, guys. It's a wonderful day for love, and it's also our Erica Cobb's birthday.
Birthday! I feel like that's how she'd say it.
Yeah.
But like way better voice.
No, it's pretty
so
good.
yeah, are you doing anything fun tonight?
Well, my anniversary with my husband, he asked me out on the 14th. I said no.
Oh my God, this happened to me too. Keep going.
And then he went out, remember, with Lindsay Pfeffer on the next night. And then that next night, I
Saturday,
said, I love you.
So we have the same anniversary, the 16th?
Mine's the midnight on the 16th.
Ours is the 16th too.
How funny
So
is
he kept
that?
asking me out. I kept saying no.
So it's
and
the
I'm
same
like, why are you
story.
asking me out around Valentine's Day, you weirdo? And then he kept asking me out, and finally I gave in, and we went out on our first date on Saturday, and it was all uphill from there.
Look at
I had
that.
such a fun date with him the first date.
We went to Benihana's.
Oh, that's fun.
Where did you guys go?
I love Benihana. We went to the Fainting Goat.
That's Al's bar.
I know. Well, it was our bar first, to be
Oh,
honest. I used to
ouch.
live across the street from there, and that was our bar, my bar. And so he took me there, and we took shots.
That's my
Who
kind
takes
of girl.
shots on a first date?
That's my kind of girl
was
right
really
there.
fun.
No, that was a great story.
And she's out.
Sarcastic?
No, I wanted to hear more. Like,
There's not much.
How are you guys? What's going on? Let us know what's happening, what everybody's temperature is, where they are. Right now, I feel a little bit of springtime in the air. Do you?
I do.
It feels amazing. Last night I could go out in flip-flops just for a hot second, so it was really
Question
nice.
is, should you go out?
That's true. Are you
I
someone who
don't know.
doesn't believe in flip-flops?
I don't think black men show their toes a lot.
Oh.
We really don't. If you really think about it, it's just not now. Black men will wear the flip-flops, like the Adidas flip-flops, that cover it's like that whole band.
It's called
but
a,
not the triangle.
I used to
between the
tag
big
for
toe
people that
one.
were blind, and I'd have to come up with those sneakers a lot. And it was called the sneaker. I have to come up with. It's just like a slide thong or something like that. Slide.
Not thong, but yeah.
Okay. So, how did the rest of your HelloFresh meal go? You guys are so sweet. So, I tried HelloFresh for the first time instead of Blue Apron.
Ooh.
And I got to be honest, way simpler. Not as flavorful, but really delicious. So, I need to do more spices. I know Kelly wants me to try plated, right?
And I want you to never do Blue Apron ever again.
Yes. And
Why?
then Home
What's wrong with
Chef.
Blue Apron?
We'll not talk about it on air. We're
Yeah,
not going
we'll
to.
talk about it here. I had 2 terrible experiences.
Oh.
Tell Al to get some Sanuks. That sounds like a plan.
What is Sonic?
I don't know.
It's a
Yes,
flip-flop.
please.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but
Yeah,
thank you.
I
Yeah,
don't.
you do.
And also, when I'm in flip-flops, I'm sure it's just the way my mind works. I'm always scared that they're going to go flying off the end of my foot. They don't feel secure.
Interesting. So, guys, if you are a black man and you enjoy wearing flip-flops, please let us know, because Al thinks
I guarantee you're not going
Showing
to
your
find
toes.
one
They
black
say
man
you
that
should
shows
get
his
some of
toes.
these. This is what they mean.
Yeah, those aren't flip-flops. Those are house shoes.
those are house shoes.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys. We want to know what you're doing something special. Did you buy a loved one a present? I bought a really cute, funny gift, because we talked about funny gifts for Brooks. Let us know what you're celebrating. Also, top story today, I didn't know if you guys watched, but on Good Morning America, Jussie Smollett has broken his silence. If you guys don't know, he is the African-American gay empire actor who was viciously attacked in Chicago in the middle of the morning, really early morning, and was put a noose around his neck and was screamed at saying this is MAGA country. We are now finding out that he received a letter, Al, previously, personally, a very threatening letter, and the cast of Empire had received a letter with powder in it. So we aren't sure if all of those are related to this, but what he spoke about in Good Morning America, we're going to have you guys take a look at this, but he's talking about people who don't believe the account. So why don't we go ahead, and Leo, if you can go ahead and take a roll at this, we'll discuss it right after.
I'm pissed off. What is it that has you so angry? Is it the attackers?
It's the attackers, but it's also the attacks. It's like, at first it was a thing of listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, because it's the truth. Then it became a thing of oh, how can you doubt that? How do you not believe that? It's the truth. And then it became a thing of oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth. I'm pissed off.
What is it that has you so angry? Is it the attackers?
It's the attackers, but it's also the attacks. It's like, at first it was a thing of listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, because it's the truth. then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the
Right,
truth.
guys, so you hear he feels not only attacked by the attack, but also attacked by the attackers. So he really has, he's angry. He's angry and he's speaking out. And he said, gay people are often seen as weak, and I wasn't weak, and I fought back, and I know what happened. And those two people in the surveillance that you guys might have seen are my assailants. He also says, I know that there was a rope around my neck. He saw rope burn, and he smelled bleach. Remember, they threw something at him that we assume is bleach. He says he wants young people to know that young members of the LGBT community, how strong they are, because he did fight back. How are you taking all this in, Al? It's sort of an interesting story that's gotten legs here.
It is. It's just, you know, it's such a strange occurrence, and he's not really the person when you think about somebody that would be attacked, like somebody that's been very vocal.
Yeah.
I would think like
He was with the president. He was very vocal about
but
the
I mean,
president.
that's like on somebody like Chrissy Teigen says stuff about the president,
Right.
and like and it's pretty well known. I
True.
just never thought that the cast empire of all the shows would be getting this, and then just the details are not sure. They're typical hate crime details, but then there were just a lot of things.
Yeah,
that are
it's
just
tough. I gotta be
It's
honest,
just
this is tough. This is complicated.
It's just tough, and it doesn't mean that somebody's telling the truth or not telling the truth. It's like, we don't know.
Yeah.
And how much better would life be, Tori, if you just go, I don't know.
I know, my dad said that.
Don't.
3 most important words he
Everybody's got
learned.
these.
I don't
Everybody's
know.
like, I'm gonna tell you something about vaccines. You don't know. I don't know. I don't spend my life figuring. But like we all look at things for 5 minutes and we have this solid opinion, and I'm ready to unfriend my uncle over it if he differs. It's like, dude,
You're right.
How many things are you really sure about in your life?
You're
except
very
for
right.
the fact that I'm awesome.
Well, I think we can all be sure about that, right? Question mark? If you guys didn't know, the coral memo is because it's Valentine's Day. So we're wearing pink. So I want to, are we doing a fifth host or no?
Yeah.
Oh, we are? Oh, and here, perfect. Great. So we want to move on to the fifth host.
I guess Valentine's Day is a pink holiday.
It is. It totally is.
But
And I like pink. I never wear pink.
I
but
feel like red is also equally there.
this is riveting television now. Pink and red are both Valentine's
But
Day colors.
I feel like pink gets all the credit when red is there to juxtapose the pink.
Do you want to go into this more?
Tori's wearing red and pink.
Hannah told me that red and pink go together. Now, I don't think so, but I kind of
Only
like
in
it.
Starburst.
Oh. Are you a red or pink Starburst person?
I'm red or pink, orange and yellow. If
I'm a
you like
yellow.
orange and
I'm a
yellow,
yellow.
Starburst,
I'm yellow.
you can.
Yellow.
I thought I knew you.
I know. I'm like red.
You don't like red?
It's
You're
okay.
crazy.
I do like red. I like red, but yellow is a nice burst of sunshine in my mouth. Anywho, Kimberly says
Come to
this.
the last break room.
I got mugged in college and beat up, and the worst part for me was friends and family asking what happened and then telling me the next time I could do better. It was causing me to relive it. There are certain ways you want to talk to someone who's been attacked, and it's definitely not, what could you have done? Do you remember more? I wish you could remember their face. These people are going through trauma, and their memories are all scattered, like Dr. Drew said. It's not a perfect system. So just say, what can I do for you? Can I bring you soup? Jews bring a lot of food.
I love that about you.
I know, just good people about that. So we're moving on to the fifth host. This is a really interesting one. Today, there's a new study, Al, conducted by Merrill Edge. The study found
Any
that more...
relation to Merrill Lynch?
I was just thinking that. What is Merrill Edge? Same thing. Okay, Merrill. You know who owns it? Meryl Streep. Just kidding. Okay, so the study
I'm so
found that...
dumb I would have believed.
I know, I was like, Jason.
You had just kept a straight face, I would have been telling people that in 10 minutes. You know what's Merrill Lynch?
Meryl Streep owns
Meryl
Merrill
Streep
Lynch.
got in when they were really small.
It was just a smart idea on her part. So the study found that more than half, 56% of Americans, said that they prefer a partner who provides financial security over love. Head over heels, love.
Yeah.
So the preference was true for both men and women. The study found that Americans also prefer a career-focused significant other over one who is socially conscious.
Yeah.
Okay? A frugal spouse more than a philanthropic spouse, and a saver rather than a spender. So DBL Nation, I'm really surprised about this. What do you think? Do you prefer, let's just say it, money over love?
It's not money. You know what it is?
That's what the
What
thing
I always
said.
say, the S word, stability.
Oh.
It's hard to be in love when your lights are off. It's hard to be in love when you're just like, hey, honey, I quit my job and went to the beach today. That's cool for like a movie, but like in real life, you need consistency and you need a partner to be able to provide that stability so you can build a family, build wealth.
He makes good points.
All these kinds of things. And it's weird because all the people that are usually like shown in movies to be like the romantic lead, it's like he's a businessman and he meets this girl and, you know, she takes a lunchbox to work and she paints her toenails weird colors and she's a fly-by-night. But that's not good.
I can't. The first sentence you said was so interesting to me. It's hard to be in love without the lights on. Stability means safety, foundation, a communication that is safe around things. I had not thought about this, and I'm someone that's overly romantic and believes in the movie version, and I'm open about that.
But you have a house, so like if the romance is gone, guess what? You have square footage. You can go upstairs in another room, cool out.
Yeah.
But like if you guys are in a studio apartment and you guys just have to sit in that anger, it's gonna breed bad things. So.
Well, Americans don't feel stable in 2019. How sad is that? They don't feel financially stable.
I could see that.
I think a lot of people don't.
And that's why the government shutdown wasn't something that I just took casually. Like, you know, like, well, when they figure it out, I'm like, no, people are going to start missing meals. I think that we're fed this line that, you know, we're one of the wealthiest countries that's ever existed and everybody's doing fine. It's like, look, and there's no shame in this. Trust me. For as long as I've been financially stable, I've not been financially stable.
Too.
So I am not passing any judgments when I say
that
there have been times where I'm like, if I get paid Friday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm gonna have to noodles and carbs and baked potatoes and just make it to Friday.
So many
and so like I think that, and that's fine when you're younger, but when you have kids, it's a lot of pressure and responsibility and bills coming in.
Yeah.
And the way that this...
Well, people are saying you're keeping it real here in finance and romance. Ben 31, security equals money. Yes, Al. I was drawn to my boyfriend for his social views, honor, and philanthropic ways. But here in the study, which surprises me, is they're more interested, or more a majority of Americans, they're more interested if you're... found that a career focus rather than socially conscious, and a saver more than a philanthropic spouse. Do you guys resonate with that?
Well, I would say if you're philanthropic, that means that you probably have enough money saved. Usually, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not donating a lot to charity. Now, some people do.
Which is an amazing thing if you do.
I would think that if you're philanthropic, that means that you got enough money to go to a benefit and give $500 for an endangered owl or something. Like, that means that you're doing good.
What's the name of the owl breed that's endangered?
The snow squall.
The snow squall. Is that with 2 L's?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah,
okay.
2 S's, too.
2 S's. Oh, that's
with,
interesting.
Yes.
Is it some kind of Swedish?
Snow, yes.
Snow squall.
You don't pronounce the first S, though.
Oh, I'm
don't
sorry.
Be silly.
It's silent. I see. The first S is silent. So this is hilarious. Dora says, I know a lot of people with money that don't have love. And I think that's kind of an interesting point, because what if you don't have any money and then you won't find love because you're looking for someone stable? Then you're out money and love.
Well, I know. Way to paint the picture.
Hey, that's, I think, true for a lot of people. They feel like they don't want to be in a relationship if they don't have money, but then they don't have money and love. So do you take the leap and at least find someone that you can find money with?
As somebody that was in a relationship early, I would say that because my ex and I got married when I was early in my career, I was a young comic. I had this much money. Do you guys know how much? This much. Like, I had no money.
It's like the first S in Snow Squall.
Yes.
Nothing. It's not there.
And it puts a lot of strain and stress on a relationship, because when money is at the forefront, it's why'd you spend this? Why'd you fill the tank up when you know we have to pay that? It's just like constant little tiny arguments that kind of have to be made because things are so stressed. So I think that there is that old school saying, you know me, I'm down with tradition, out with the old school, no romance before finance. And there's a thing for that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
think
very
we get
interesting.
this Romeo-Juliet thing where you and I are going to run off and forget our parents and we're just going to get married and we're just live in our car because we love each other. It's like, for like the first 2 days, that's
I was going to say, have you ever seen The Graduate?
No.
Okay, so I won't spoil the ending, but it's really old. I feel like I should be
35 years old.
Okay, I think I can spoil it. So Dustin Hoffman goes after the woman of his dreams, and at the wedding, he's like, no! And she looks up, and there's that famous image of him banging on the glass in the church. Mm-hmm. Am I resonating with anyone? No? And anyway, she looks up, and they run off together. Spoiler alert. And they get in the back of the bus, and what do you see? Them sitting there, and she's in her veil, and they sit down, but the camera holds, and he did this on purpose, for like 25 seconds, and their smiles look, and they look at each other, and then reality hits, and they're just on a bus in their wedding gown, and they don't know what to do. And it's the beginning of a relationship. So it's the very last scene of The Graduate. It's a very famous scene, because the subtext is,
right.
Is it enough to just have this love that's overwhelming that I break you out of this church? And then they're like, yo, we're on a bus.
Well, that's the thing that people always fall for. They fall for the new exciting guy or the
dopamine,
the crazy girl that just lives life on a whim. But and I feel like people that are slow and steady and do the race the right way, they're looked at as like boring or almost less than. And it's so weird. I remember talking to my buddy John. He's one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life, and he says instead of telling his son to go after the hottest girl in school, he said go after the coolest one. And it's like quiet people like your boyfriend Chris, cool people.
Brooks is quiet.
Are just so interesting, but they're people, because we're so uncomfortable with any kind of silence. We're like, well, Brooks is quiet. I guess he doesn't like when black people. He's not thinking about that.
Yeah, he's just an introvert.
Some people are just quiet.
Yeah.
Some people, express themselves differently. Some people, I had to learn that doing stand-up because I would do shows and I'd be like, this guy's not laughing. I was like, that's my. And then after the show, I had a great time. But like, you do shows up in Montana, like cowboys don't laugh like that.
Yeah,
you know,
gotta read the
just
people.
they're having
true.
a good time, but so you just have to understand that everybody kind of has their own way of being, and I think that the people that are more understated get the worst end of the deal. It's better to be the guy banging on the glass, but like, who's acting irrationally in that situation?
Totally, like it's a crazy
thing to do. The guy that showed up and rented the tux and is prepared to life for you,
yes,
or the guy that showed up the last minute on the bus,
right?
Banging
and now
on
you're
the
like,
glass.
oh, this seems exciting for a second.
Yeah. So and that's on her. So she deserved what she got.
Well, there you go.
Enjoy the bus.
The fictional character that is the graduate. She deserves what she gets. Damn, Al, your buddy John is smarter than you. Stephen Hill seems to think you're a genius. He says, Tori, keep challenging Al, his mindset, because he's a sharp guy, Ivy League. We're both smart.
Yes, but
okay. So
my buddy John is just one of he's a comic, and he's just one of those people that just thinks very linearly and like succinctly.
Yeah.
And he's the one I told you. He said, your wife is just your girlfriend you tell the government about. Such
a good like Mitch Hedberg
it's like
quote.
Such a
I love that
thing.
Here, John Venturini, love provides security. Now that's an interesting take on this. Which
does,
provides confidence,
emotional security.
which provides opportunity, which at some point may very well provide money. Greatly said. I think that's a beautiful thing. XOX says, what if you just date people with money and marry a person for love? Haha, JK, but not really. Kind of. People do that. I think that's true.
I think I would go as far as to say most people settle on something with their partner, and that's not a bad thing. It's like your partner is not going to be a 10 in every category because that's impossible. So like you go, hey, Brooks, look, I always wanted to cook with my partner. That's my thing. Brooks likes fast food, but he covers so many other things I can look past. I think you're going to settle on some things, whether your partner's not as social as you, whether your partner...
But would you settle more if you love that person or if that person had more money? Would you find yourself being okay if they had more money or if you were more in love with that person?
I think it depends on your financial situation,
Yeah,
because
that's
if
true.
you came from nothing and you've been broke in your
It's a fair
teens
thing
and
to say.
20s, in your 30s, and somebody's like, hey, do you want to not worry about, the water turning on? Then I think
it's a fair thing to say.
Yes.
It's a fair thing to say, and I think we're being honest here.
Really tired of being broke.
Yeah, it's very true. Now we have a trending moment right now. By the way, John says he's also a fairly smart John in his own right.
John
That's so
Venturini,
funny.
He's just we talk every day.
I know.
So
I feel like I know him. I know. I love it.
Yeah, what's up, John?
All right. Guys, Celebrity Big Brother, big news. The first African-American person to ever win, Miss Tamar Braxton.
Right.
She won Celebrity Big Brother last night. She beat out Ricky Williams, who I was talking to Brandon, our
He
other
was my dark
co-host.
horse.
You were always saying Ricky.
Yes.
When we were talking about Big Brother. And I didn't know this. Ricky Williams, of course, is a football player. And Brandon actually was on the Miami Dolphins with him. And he said he'd sit in the cold tub, the ice tub, and read his medical books. He was going through med school at the same time as training.
Wow. Yeah, he's a very
That's
cerebral
incredible.
guy.
That's awesome. So she beat him out. Tamar's the first black housemate to win the grand prize. She's also making history because she broke the first to enter curse. There's a theory that if you're the first to come in, you'll never get out.
Interesting.
But it was a unanimous 9-0 vote. Tom Green did win America's favorite house guest, our favorite co-host.
Yes.
I love that.
All right.
So that's exciting, and let us know if you guys know. Tamar is now known as Tamar Gessling, because the other BB house guest to win unanimously was BB10's Dan Gessling. Oh, cool. Ricky is a smart dude. Yeah, he is a very, very smart dude. And someone's also calling you Owl Jackson, which is very funny.
There we go. I kind of with these glasses, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Ricky Williams is one of those guys. He lost a year of, not eligibility, but playing for marijuana. He kept testing positive for marijuana.
I did know that.
And he was one of those guys that was like, I'm not going to get hooked on painkillers. I'm going to use this as a way to.
You know what was interesting yesterday, Al? I was talking to Dr. Drew. If you guys don't know, Dr. Drew was on my show. First of all, what's funny is I talked to everybody and they were so excited. And then I talked to my mom and she goes, yeah, I didn't know who he was. That one generation like skipped him. It's funny that like my mother, she never watched Loveline, so she wouldn't. So anyway.
He was on, he had a talk show. He's on
HLN. She knew him then.
He just seems like he would get that demo because he's on during
He's America's doctor for sure.
I
My dad knew him for
because
sure.
I've been doing comedy 13 years. It's like, you know, so I work at night and I'm free during the day. Like, older people rule the day.
Oh, yeah.
From like 7 a.m. to 2:30. Like, you go on CVS, you're like, there's some old people in
I
here.
am the youngest
And then at
by
3
far.
o'clock, they're gone.
Yeah, everyone
they're
just
like
disappears.
back in their homes.
Siesta.
They're having dinner at 3:40.
Well, we had dinner at 4 for my 104-year-old birthday.
That's awesome.
Grandmother. So anyway, I asked him about Marinol, which is a pill that you can take in places where it's legal that is an appetite stimulant. It's marijuana in a pill form. And someone had asked a question about their mother who wasn't eating.
The woman that was wasted.
Yes, wasting away. And he said, I said, what about Marinol? And he said, I would prefer the straight cannabis. And I have to be honest, I looked at him and I thought, when is the last time a doctor would have just recommended weed on camera?
Because doctors
What a
have
cool-
watched 20 years of patients dying in front of them.
That's it.
Hooked on prescription pills.
That's it. I thought, what a
That's
cool
what it
way
is.
of... it was a moment that I thought, wow, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, would we have been able to get there if Dr. Drew just saying on TV, I would rather her have cannabis. I mean, I thought,
And I remember for a while, and this is what I like about Dr. Drew, from what I've known of his career, and it's interesting. I used to subscribe to his podcast and just all.
Loveline, I did it all the time.
But like he was not a marijuana guy for a long time, and him and Joe Rogan had a very stimulated debate about the pros and cons of marijuana. But I think Drew was coming from an addiction world. And he
evolved.
But because he was coming from a place where he was like, I've seen guys go, hey, I can smoke a joint and I can maintain my sobriety, and then they're like, I can have a half a light beer,
right.
And then they're back in the hospital.
Right.
So I think he was more like
cautious.
Yeah, weed is a drug like anything else is a drug, but he evolved, and we're starting to see people live their best life because people are. I'm telling you, as somebody that has somebody in their family that was, I didn't know that they were addicted to prescription drugs because of a botched toe surgery. This person did not drink, was not a partier in any way. But I was like, this person is a jerk.
Yeah.
And I really did not like them for years. And then once they got a new doctor, the doctor looked at her sheet and was like, why are you taking this? Weaned her off over the course of a year. And I'm like, oh.
You're a good person.
Yeah, it was just
my mom is sometimes terrible. And she goes, just imagine you have the highest of highs and of uppers and lowers in your body and you're in pain at all times.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine? I came back and she was
crazy.
scrubbing the floor with a toothbrush. And I go, Mom, what are you doing? She goes, if they come for my funeral, I don't want them to think my house is messy. And I was like, you're on too much. Something's wrong here.
God.
And it's like, people don't have advocates. They think that's normal. And so I know we kind of went off topic here, but I do think it's really interesting about what, how we've evolved and moved into that, right? A lot of people are saying, by the way, that about this, Pearl Pastor on Facebook says, you guys are so right about stability. I tell guys this all the time. I guess I choose love, though, Brandy, because we live paycheck to paycheck, but we're getting better and saving more money.
Right.
So some really interesting takes on that.
And I think being in love, it's not like, Brandy, I love you, girl. It's not like you can't be in love and be working towards something.
Right.
Me and my ex were
can spur
paycheck
you,
to
just like John
paycheck
said.
for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I was more thinking about if somebody's financially irresponsible.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But they're like, hey, baby, we only have $500 bucks.
Go to Jamaica!
I got us tickets to Vegas.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're going to win the money when we get there. It's like, that's good for a movie, but not good when you're planning to pay rent that month or have children eventually. So, no, Brandy, you guys are doing the right thing. Living paycheck to paycheck. Dude, you got a team member. You got a team member there.
That's true, but then there's this last person I just want to get in here says, but who would you enjoy, MJ Matthews, where is it? But who would you enjoy spending the money with if you don't have anyone to share it with? So that's another interesting topic.
Look, hey, if you got money, you're never alone. Promise you that.
We're going to leave you on that weird, vague, oddly uncomfortable note. And you guys stick with us. Today is Valentine's Day, but it's also one Erica Cobb's birthday.
Happy birthday,
We're
Cobbie.
so excited.
love this
And
girl.
Stephen Hill, maybe I will wear those hot pink pumps. You gotta tune into Scene. That was awkward ending on that too, huh?
It was, yeah. Well, at least
Happy
you
Valentine's Day.
bring up a
That's right, we're here with crafting expert and owner of Crafty Chassis, Kristen Heidbreder, and she's going to help us wow our ladies, is that right? With a handmade gift. Kristen, what are we making today?
So today we are making custom Valentine's mailboxes.
So what's the first step? How do we get started here?
So first things first, we're gonna start with these pedestals. Basically, these are wooden candle holders. You can get at a local craft store. We're gonna paint these red.
Okay, so
Your
just
little
get after
pedestals.
it.
So yeah, you kind of get after it.
Look at that. Look
So
how
the
quick that
next
was.
step is gonna be your mailbox. So now you get to get creative, and this is kind of the front of your mailbox here. You put those messages in to start the decorating. We've got letters that you can choose a message or a saying. You can put someone's name on it.
So I kind of came up with a pre-message here, and then we just glue it on the side.
Definitely, okay.
You know, Kristen, what I like about this is you said, you know, roses, they fade, they're gonna wilt. A dinner, you might not remember, but this is year round because you can always put something in the letter. So it's kind of like one of those everlasting gifts, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Women love it when men kind of think out of the box.
Literally.
The mailbox.
Literally.
So another thing that we can do that we have on the display one is if you want to add some fun doilies. It actually is cool because it sticks to the metal. So the paper goes to the metal. Oh, and then also if you wanted to do some really cute little lovebirds.
Of course I do.
There's some lovebirds on that.
Oh, that is cute. See, I'm getting into it.
Cute. All right, now don't forget your message.
So I put, you've made all my dreams come true. I love you. That was mine.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
And I did hand over this note and we'll wine and dine at your favorite restaurant, my treat, because I love you.
Oh. And
you
kind of center it in here. How's it looking?
Looks good to me. Let's
see.
turn it around.
What did you put?
I put, don't mail in your love. Get it? Hilarious! Happy Valentine's Day!
And I've got Mad for Maddie.
Nice! So we do a good job?
I love it. You guys did a great job.
I think we crushed it.
I think
good job, buddy.
You crushed it.
Jordan's gonna
love it.
Thank you so
for
much,
having
Kristen. This was a blast. I had a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us and helping us create the perfect gift for our better halves.